We are 7 days into the World Cup tournament. How is your team doing? Please note that word, team, the most crucial element for any successful campaign. The same concept applies to how we build successful professional or personal relationships and how the government manages the affairs of the country. Teamwork ensures that all players are given due consideration and everyone has a participatory role. Welcome to this episode of the Jamaica Magazine. I am Audrey Williams. In today's episode, we have a little for everyone. We will hear how the Ministry of Labour and Social Security is creating an inclusive society through a review of the Social Inclusion and Protection Strategic Priority. When the page turns, a look at the logistics hub and how other new industries will generate growth in the economy. And the Jamaica Fire Brigade is encouraging citizens to be safety conscious. Also in the magazine, a message of empowerment to students who are eagerly awaiting the GSAT results. Keep watching. The news is next.
Nutritious food, succulent dishes, superior workmanship, and excellent service. Jamaica is on the go. Let's grow what we eat and eat what we grow. Let's harness the indomitable spirit of our most valued resource, our people. Let's support our local businesses. After all, buying Jamaican means building Jamaica. Original.
Good day, I'm Caroline Brown and this is your JIS News for Wednesday, June 18. There's been an overall improvement in the 2014 Grade 6 Achievement Test GSAT results.
On behalf of the Ministry of Education, I commend the army of particularly primary level teachers who dedicated themselves to the task of preparing this cohort of students to sit GSAT. We congratulate all the students also and encourage them to perform to the best of their ability in the high schools where they have been placed.
The minister revealed that there's been a 5% increase in science, 1% in social studies and communication tasks, while the figures for language arts remain unchanged. And come September, Minister Thwaite said 120 mathematics coaches will be deployed to primary schools which recorded a weak performance in the subject. This, the minister said, was in response to the 1% decrease in math scores in this year's exams. Meanwhile, Minister Thwaite said 73% of this year's GSAT entrants have been placed in a school of their choice. 28,883 students of the 39,438 who sat the exams were placed in the school of their choice, resulting in marked decreases in the percentage of students who will attend all-age, primary and junior high, technical or private high schools.
We are pleased to indicate that we have not kept any students beyond grade 6 in the all-age schools, nor have we had to purchase places in private secondary institutions, as has happened in previous years.
The result will save the ministry some $15 million. All primary schools will receive their GSAT results by Thursday evening, according to the Ministry of Education. And the Education Minister remains firm on the dissemination of a master book list to the island schools. Minister Thwaite reasoned that though the master book list will be enforced, provisions have been made to accommodate teachers.
For the teacher who wishes to have a special book for special needs, all they need to do is to apply to us for that. What we do say is that it can't be that book on top of 5 others, on top of the textbooks that we are providing.
The minister was responding to a call for teachers to ignore the master book list prepared by the ministry. Property tax collection has almost doubled over the last fiscal year. A total of $5.83 billion was collected, which translates to 80% of the $7.26 billion target. Local Government and Community Development Minister Noel Arscott made the announcement as he made his presentation in the 2014-2015 sectoral debate. The minister added that the Portmore Municipal Council surpassed its target.
As an incentive, Mr. Speaker, for their success in collection of property taxes, the council was awarded $5 million to be used in the development and improvement of a community project.
Minister Arscott said government would not increase property taxes for this fiscal year, but would instead focus on compliance. Government is moving full speed ahead with its plans to improve the road network by building concrete roads on the island. Local Government and Community Development Minister Noel Arscott said the access road to the Riverton City landfill will be used as a pilot project for concrete roads. The rehabilitation project, which will be managed by the United Nations Office for Project Services, will among other things improve access to the landfill and reduce the operating costs for garbage trucks.
This will be done through a donation of $200 million from the Mesoamerican Fund operated by the Mexican government. We intend to do a further 20 kilometers of concrete roads after the completion of the Riverton pilot.
Minister Arscott said given the high cost of road construction, the government had to assess different road construction technologies while maintaining value for money.
The ministry is endorsing concrete as one of the preferred paving material for roads given its life expectancy, low carrying capacity and competitive price.
Concrete roads are estimated to last for 13 to 30 years, while asphalt roads have a lifespan of 6 to 20 years. Government intends to leverage Norman Manley International Airport's first-place position in the coveted Priority Pass Award to enhance discussions with potential bidders as it seeks to divest the airport. Transport Minister Dr. Omar Davies made the announcement recently during his congratulatory speech to VIP attractions, owners and operators of the prize-winning Club Kingston Lounge. He used the occasion to encourage local investors to maximize on the opportunities now available in the sector.
Too many times our local entrepreneurs argue that this potential investment is too large for anyone. This is an opportunity with the Norman Manley International Airport for, if you are not big enough on your own, to establish a consortium or something whereby you make a credible bid.
And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Caroline Brown. Thanks for watching.
Join the fight. Quit smoking for life.
According to Jens Wandel, UNDP Deputy Regional Bureau Director, inclusion does not mean assimilation. It means equal access to resources and opportunities, such as education or healthcare. It means having a voice in society. For financial year 2014-2015, the Ministry of Labour and Social Security has identified a number of programs to ensure that everyone has a voice through strategic priority number 5, social inclusion and protection.
Social inclusion and protection is a strategic priority on government's list for the 2014-2015 financial year. To help fulfill that priority, the Ministry of Labour and Social Security is working on a raft of measures to provide adequate social protection for all, including the vulnerable, ensuring that Jamaicans are able to take care of and provide for themselves and families. In the 2014-2015 fiscal year, the government will be revamping the National Insurance Scheme NIS to ensure that all Jamaicans have some form of social protection. Protection for contributors and their families in the event of retirement, death, being injured, or incapacitated while on the job. As part of the revamping exercise, Cabinet will consider an Actuarial Evaluation Report and a roadmap for the reform of the NIS in a bid to guarantee the sustainability of the fund. One of the objectives is to increase the number of contributors to the scheme so that more money can flow into the pool. In the last fiscal year, NIS contributions stood at approximately $12 billion, but $14.7 billion was paid out in benefits.
We are expecting that it will increase to about 16 billion in terms of payout. And the collections, with no change in the contribution rates, the collections would be just about the same. What has happened though is that the investment income from the National Insurance Fund is what closes the gap. And the truth is this has been occurring since 2003.
Females in particular will be able to contribute to the fund for a longer period of time as their retirement age has moved from 60 to 63. Over time, the retirement age for females will move to 65 years, matching the retirement age for males.
I'm extremely pleased that the landmark National Disabilities Bill 2014 was tabled in this Honourable House on May the 7th and will be debated early in this legislative year.
That bill will help government to achieve strategic priority number 5 as all members of the disabled community will have easy access to amenities like any other citizen. To streamline the process, a national database for the disabled is being created. Registration is ongoing.
This is the basis on which we will be able to count for all of our persons with disabilities. We can't plan for them if we don't know that they are there. Like for instance, we're in the midst of a hurricane season. If we don't know where they are, we can't know how to plan for them, especially if a disaster strikes, God forbid.
The international community is also partnering with the Ministry of Labour and Social Security to provide assistance for the disabled. The World Bank's Japanese Development Fund has provided a $67 million grant to prepare persons with disabilities for the labour market.
We are also going to be doing studies to identify what are the gaps, what are the training needs, what are the things that need to be done to get persons to be a part of the workforce.
The capacity of the Jamaica Council of Persons with Disabilities will also be strengthened with a $15 million grant from the Inter-American Development Bank. 300 disabled persons in the 18 to 36 age group will also benefit from skills development training. To achieve Strategic Priority 5, Social Inclusion and Protection, government is also ensuring that the less fortunate can meet their everyday needs. In October, beneficiaries of the Program of Advancement through Health and Education Path will get an additional 15% increase in payments. This will be possible through a $5.3 billion allocation in the budget for Phase 2 of the Social Protection Project.
Basically, we want to ensure that as inflation rises, there's a benefit mechanism, increase mechanism that kicks in, where it is that inflation passes a certain amount, we automatically look at reviewing the benefits.
Approximately 380,000 persons and 130,000 households are currently on PATH. 7,000 persons will also get a chance to improve their living conditions through a $139 million allocation in the budget. As government acts on strategic priority number 5 in the 2014-2015 fiscal year, it is also seeking to empower persons receiving state handouts so they can become self-reliant. 2,000 individuals will be trained over the next 2 years under the $600 million Welfare to Work program.
We're targeting beneficiaries from welfare households to involve them in job training. We'll try to prepare them for the world of work so that they can now become a part of the development or growth agenda.
About 6,000 persons will also benefit from the short-term poverty intervention project, as members of parliament have received $75 million to assist entrepreneurs in communities to develop business ideas. Government will also roll out its Case to Work program. Under the initiative, a 28-point resilience scale for vulnerable households has been developed.
These 28 points, once they are met for each of these households, we'll be able to have them being more resilient, so that if they are eventually moved off the PATH program or off the welfare programs, then if there's any shock, they won't fall right back into the need for state assistance.
Steps are also being taken to protect the country's senior citizens. The National Council for Senior Citizens will be revamped to encourage all seniors to participate in its activities. The policy for senior citizens will also be examined. The Government of Jamaica implementing measures to achieve strategic priority number 5, social inclusion and protection, safeguarding the lives of all Jamaicans, including the vulnerable, so that the standard of living can improve.
The The government is capitalizing on the spirit of teamwork through several initiatives geared toward improving the business environment. These initiatives will fuel a competitive and productive Jamaican economy. Let's learn more in this next feature.
Moving Jamaica to a logistics-centered economy, improving the business environment, the legal cultivation of industrial hemp, programs being implemented this fiscal year by the Ministry of Industry, Investment and Commerce.
Jamaica has jumped 54 places in the Logistics Performance Index, a benchmarking tool developed by the World Bank that measures logistics efficiency worldwide.
Jamaica moved from near the bottom of the table at 124 out of 160 countries in 2012 to 70 out of 160 countries in 2014. The minister and his team are determined to build on this success. This fiscal year, the ministry will advance the implementation of the Caymanas Special Economic Zone. Cabinet has assigned 2 teams to guide this mega project. A policy steering committee to identify areas for the special economic zones, and an enterprise team to oversee the Caymanas Special Economic Zone development.
Caymanas Special Economic Zone is expected to attract large-scale investments in specific value-added industries, as well as to facilitate the participation of the MSME sector through a clustered approach.
In the meantime, a major consortium of U.S., European and Middle East investors has put forward strong expression of interest in several components of the Logistics Hub initiative. The consortium is mobilizing equity financing in excess of $4 billion to design, finance, build and operate integrated components for the hub. This consortium will complete its proposal within 6 to 9 months. The development of industrial, commercial and office space is important to Jamaica's plans of becoming a logistics-centered economy. Due to its proximity to the port, the Garmex Free Zone on Marcus Garvey Drive in Kingston will be retrofitted into a world-class industrial complex to accommodate logistics and industrial clusters. The Factories Corporation of Jamaica will spend $120 million this year to complete the renovation works. The telecom sector is another key pillar in the Logistics Hub plans. Currently, all Jamaican internet traffic is routed through the United States, but by implementing a Jamaica Internet Exchange Point (IXP), the country can save $2 million annually. Making Jamaica a major producer of local content via cheaper and faster internet services should be realized by the end of July.
The OUR, the MIIC, working with STEM and other stakeholders, such as internet service providers and content developers, are actively engaged in making the Jamaica IXP a reality.
In the area of public education and training, the ministry will embark on several initiatives. Working in tandem with the ministry's Logistics Hub Education and Training Working Group, the Caribbean Examinations Council has approved a CAPE curriculum on logistics. The Caribbean Maritime Institute will also be offering a postgraduate diploma in logistics and supply chain management commencing this summer. After adopting the MSME and entrepreneurship policy in 2013, government will be reforming and repositioning its 3 critical agencies that are engaged in lending and financial advisory services for entrepreneurs. The Micro Investment Development Agency will be repositioned to play a critical role in risk and debt management and to develop and effectively manage a micro-venture financing facility for the MSME sector. The Jamaica Business Development Corporation will be focused on providing customized financial advisory services to its clients. It should gain Small Business Development Center status by November. The Self-Start Fund will now be offering a new suite of loan products that are customized to meet the needs of the MSME sector.
We are targeting to provide $1 billion in loan financing for the MSME sector. The Ministry of Industry, Investment and Commerce is the business-focused ministry of the Government of Jamaica and a driver in the delivery of the growth agenda.
With that fact in mind, the ministry is seeking to leverage a few of the island's unique offerings. The legal cultivation of industrial hemp has presented a major global opportunity for a number of countries around the world. With more than 25,000 uses of hemp, the ministry is spearheading the legislation to enable farmers to the plant. A draft of the proposed regulatory framework is ready and will be submitted shortly to the Cabinet for its consideration. Within the creative sector, plans are well advanced to construct a film lot on the 20-acre property of the old Goodyear factory and complex near Morant Bay in St. Thomas. A Hollywood studio has agreed to provide oversight on this project. The Ministry of Industry, Investment and Commerce is creating an enabling environment where businesses and budding entrepreneurs are beginning to see the opportunities and the tremendous promise of the Jamaica Logistics Hub initiative. The ministry is making big strides in creating the platform for Jamaica becoming a logistics-centered economy.
Most students want to transfer from the school they went, like, for example, if you go to a school like Denanton or Tivoli, it doesn't matter, you have to just study hard and focus on your goals, achieve what you learned in class and just to be focused.
I went to Denham Town and persons looked down on Denham Town. I am now a teacher at this school. I now hold 2 diplomas in education. I'm a primary school teacher. I'm also a trained guidance counselor. I moved on from there. I went to UA, that's the University of the West Indies. I'm a holder of a bachelor's degree in psychology and political science. Sometime later, I moved on to do my master's degree at Florida International University. So I now hold a master's degree in curriculum and instruction. Students, how far you climb, how much you see, how far you reach depends on you. Let nothing stop you. You can conquer the world by doing what it is you need to do.
In being successful in the execution of their responsibilities, the Jamaica Fire Brigade has to work as a team. Through their public education campaign, they have invited ordinary Jamaican citizens to become a part of this service-oriented team.
When your clothes is on fire, you do not run. So you stop where you are, you fall to the ground, and you roll.
Public education is a key component in fire prevention. It is a proactive method of reducing emergencies and the damage caused by them by ensuring that the public is fully aware of what to do in case of an emergency.
We recognize that fires start most of the time because people don't know about fires. People don't know what it takes to make a fire. People don't know what it takes to get rid of a fire. Without educating a person about the dangers of fire, then they would be totally lost, and we will continue to have devastating fires destroying life and property.
Look around for me. Make sure that everybody in the class is here.
I think you should give yourselves a clap. That's how we want you to operate when there is a fire, all right?
Fire prevention officers go into communities, businesses, schools, churches, wherever they are granted access, and educate the public on fire safety practices. And through programs like Safety Monitor and Training, persons are taught to educate others about appropriate fire safety behavior.
We go into communities, we train what we call community safety wardens or fire wardens. So they would now look at the mispractices. We go into businesses, organize the staff, and we train persons to train the people in the workplace. They are also trained to a point where they can check for hazards to ensure that all the fire hazards that are visible can be reduced.
If it is that you require of us or you ask of us to come into your home and show you what inside there can actually start a fire and how you can prevent that fire, we actually do that. And we promote as well what we call the good neighbor policy. So you ensure that your neighbor is not doing anything that will put your life in jeopardy from a fire, and you do the same as well for your neighbors.
What happens?
Fire prevention does not stop at public education. There is also engineering and enforcement. You could call it the triple E effect. Engineering and enforcement go hand in hand. It's at this stage that the Fire Prevention Division review building plans, inspect buildings, and assess for compliance.
We encourage you to come into us, submit your building plan. We are able to look at it to see how you are going to occupy the building, and then we would be able to recommend the type of devices that you would use to better protect your property and the lives that will occupy that building.
Fire prevention officers should be contacted to conduct fire safety inspection as soon as new buildings are erected or existing buildings are being renovated. There is no cost attached.
So you would write us a letter, and you can send it in to us by email. When we get that letter, we set a date with you. We come into your building and we look at everywhere. All of the occupied space, whether doors are locked off, technical room. We start from the roof all the way down to basement level if there's a basement, and we note everything in terms of what you have in the building, what you need to do, and then we would go back, make recommendations. So once you implement those recommendations, then you'll know that you are on the right track to have a safe building, a fire-safe building to occupy.
Once the inspection is complete and your building meets the required standard, you will receive a building occupancy certificate, also known as a fire certificate. The Fire Prevention Division also sees to the retrofitting of fire hydrants.
We now have over 70% of the fire hydrants working. So that is really saying to us that the team that we have employed is actually going out there and doing the job that is required of them.
The fire brigade is on the job to ensure that you are safe in the event of a fire, but they can't go it alone. Your help is needed.
Don't cook and leave it unattended. Don't overload circuits. Don't introduce a whole lot of electrical equipment on systems that are not designed for that heavy load. Don't allow children that are not of the age of 12 and untaught to be fooling around with fire in general, and pretty much ensure that you have a plan in your home, in the building that you occupy. Ensure that the right equipment is there. Our message to the public is prevent, prevent, prevent.
Once a fire starts, you need to call us. It is better for us to get on the scene and realize that you have already dealt with it than for us to get on the scene late. Because nobody likes a situation like that when we get there late and there's nothing much that we can actually do.
For more information on the Jamaica Fire Brigade, visit their website www.jfb.gov.jm or call 922-2523 or 922-0007.
Continue to stay in touch by visiting our Facebook page, Twitter, or website for additional programs. I am Audrey Williams, and I encourage you to support your team in this World Cup, whether in jubilation or despair. It was Michael Jordan that said, "Talent wins games, but teamwork and intelligence wins championships." Do enjoy the rest of your day.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.